Hello. I invite you to continue this series of calm reflections on the book Our Home by André Luiz, a spiritual account of life after death, responsibility, and the maturation of consciousness through work. Chapter 38 is titled, The Case of Tobias. This is one of the most interesting and at the same time one of the most human chapters in this part of the book. It does not describe work in umbral or dramatic cases of rescuing suffering spirits. Instead, it reveals something very important: how relationships between souls, marriage, jealousy, and true brotherhood are understood in the spiritual world. This chapter also reveals an important truth of spiritual life: that love between souls can take different forms, and true harmony is born through forgiveness, understanding, and spiritual maturity. On the third day of work, Tobias invites André to his home. It is a pleasant surprise for him. After intense work in the rectification chambers, André has the opportunity to see the private life of the inhabitants of the colony. He meets Tobias's family. His wife Luciana and Hilda, a woman who in the past had also been Tobias's wife on Earth. This situation naturally surprises André. How is it possible that in the spiritual world two women who were married to the same man during earthly life lived together in harmony? The conversation that begins during the evening meal becomes a deep spiritual lesson. Tobias explains that in the spiritual world many problems that create conflict and jealousy on earth can be resolved through brotherhood and a deeper understanding of the spiritual nature of relationships. He also explains that between instinct and the angelic state there exists a vast scale of development. Humanity is still on the path. For this reason, many situations that seem contradictory or difficult on earth are part of the process of the soul's maturation. The most moving part of the story is Hilda's testimony. She had been Tobias's first wife. She died young while giving birth to their child. After death, she could not accept the separation from her family. She remained emotionally attached to her husband and children. She could not accept that Tobias would eventually need to rebuild his life. When he later married Luciana, Hilda rebelled. She was filled with jealousy and pain. Her reaction was deeply human. It shows that after death the spirit does not immediately become a perfect being. It still carries emotions, attachments, and limitations from earthly life. At this difficult moment, spiritual help arrives. Hilda is visited by her deceased grandmother. This encounter becomes a turning point. With love but also firmness, the grandmother helps her see the situation from a broader perspective. She asks a very simple question: does she want to be a wild lioness defending her possessions? Or a conscious soul of God capable of love and understanding? This question awakens deep reflection within her. Hilda begins to understand that Luciana is not her rival. She is a woman caring for her children and helping Tobias in the struggles of life. Gradually, her heart begins to change. Hilda leaves the old home and begins a new stage of life in the colony Our Home. She dedicates herself to work, study, and helping other spirits. In time, reconciliation takes place between her and Luciana. Instead of jealousy, true brotherhood emerges. Luciana even says that Hilda became like a mother and teacher to her. Their relationship ceases to be one of rivalry. It becomes a relationship of spiritual sisters. This chapter also addresses an important theme: the spiritual meaning of marriage. In the spiritual world, true marriage is not merely a union of bodies. It is primarily a union of souls. Such a bond cannot be destroyed by time or by death. At the same time, there are different forms of relationships among human beings. Some unions are born from deep love. Others are relationships of trial. Others arise from duty or mutual support. Each of them may have a role in the spiritual development of the soul. Tobias also explains that in the spiritual world relationships arise through vibrational affinity. In other words, through the inner harmony between two souls. If two people live together in conflict and suffering, they may be physically united. But they are not truly united spiritually. The story of Tobias, Hilda, and Luciana reveals something very important. Jealousy, attachment, and selfishness can be transformed. But this transformation requires humility, inner work, and the willingness to forgive. Only then can true brotherhood between souls emerge. Chapter 38 also reminds us of several important truths. That after death the spirit continues the process of learning and growth. That emotions such as jealousy and attachment may still accompany us in the spiritual world. That true love does not mean possessing another person, but allowing freedom and understanding. And that genuine brotherhood can heal even the most difficult relationships. This is a very human chapter, full of emotion, yet also full of wisdom. It shows that the spiritual path does not unfold only through knowledge, but above all through the transformation of the heart. And it leaves us with an important question. Are we able to look at our relationships with others from the perspective of love and freedom? Or do we try to hold on to others out of fear and attachment? In the next chapter, André Luiz will continue discovering the laws of spiritual life within the colony. The journey continues. See you soon.